So what's up, trade crew? Welcome back to the HVAC R&D podcast hosted by Ryden Atzenhofer. I am extremely excited for the very first ever full video episode of the show. Forgive me, I will fail to look at this camera for probably the majority of it because I'm not used to it, but let's get it, y'all. From the beginning of this show, I've always said that the trades industry is built on great people with great stories, and I want the trade crew to hear yours. Whether you're in the field turning a wrench or running duct, building a trades empire from your office, working the distribution counter, grinding a sales territory, repping or working for a manufacturer, or anywhere in between, HVAC R&D is the show about the power of conversation, collaboration over competition, and sharing real conversations from every corner of the trades community. And if you've got a story to tell, then I've got a microphone ready for you. So when you're ready, go check out the links to the HVAC R&D podcast questionnaire that are on all social media channels and on the website, and get in touch with me about joining an episode of the show. If this is your first time listening, thank you so much for sharing some time with me. If you're coming back show after show, thank you for helping me continue to make this dream of highlighting our trades a reality. Please make sure to smash the like and subscribe buttons on any and all streaming and social platforms where you follow the show, and please share with your friends and trade crew. If you aren't following the show, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at hvac.rnd, and on LinkedIn, Facebook, and TradeHounds as the HVAC R&D podcast. Please make sure to go check out hvacrnd.com and visit the swag shop for some cool merch and some Cajun Joe's Bayou Spice, and then check out the vendor hub for discounts on BetterHelp, Chirp, Service Titan, and my newest partner, SkillCat. Tonight's guest is a rising star in the HVAC install world, known for his flawless copperwork, smooth brazes, and his signature Hilmor bends that are putting Kentucky on the HVAC map. He's a proud family man, a woodworking gamer, and he's stepping behind the mic for the very first time. So please welcome the one, the only, Tyler Dreisbach, known as TD HVAC. So thanks for coming on the show, buddy.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
I am too. I'm pumped. So like I said, I will fail to look at this probably all night because I'm just not used to it. So mostly everyone's going to get my beautiful side profile.
What's funny, I probably should have told you to pronounce my last name. I know it looks weird. It's German, so like it's Dreisbach, but I mean it's pronounced Dreisbach, but like we say Dreisbach.
Now is that the Americanification
of name of my last name? Because I had a teacher in high school. He was a history teacher, and he was just huge on history. And like when he first pronounced my name, he like said it so like he put so much emphasis. He's like Dreisbach. I was like, why'd you say my name like that? He's like, that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. I was like, no, it's Dreisbach. He was like, no, it's actually Dreisbach. And I was like, all right, whatever, cool, slide with it.
Well, so I mean, I've got, Atzenhofer. I've got just as strong of a German last name, so it's hard for me not to lean towards it too, right? We probably are. Where are you calling in from? We know you're in Kentucky, but kind of tell me a little bit about current role and kind of where you are at the moment.
So I'm based out of Louisville, Kentucky. My company's based out of Louisville. We work up in the Jeffersonville of Indiana. And then from there to down to E-Town, and then to Lexington, past Lexington to Richmond. I mean, we're about a 2-hour radius from Louisville, where we work from, my company. Right now, I am a lead installer, just doing finishes after our rough-in crews, do the rough-in work. We come in after, set the outdoor unit, wire it up, go through all the whole process, trying to get the units fired up for these new construction homes, or not only that, we do retros and what else? Yeah, besides that, I'm just an installer. I want to go to the service side. I mean, I've been thrown on a few service calls, and I mean, when I get thrown on a service call, I got a buddy that he is the service lead man or whatever. He knows that I'm going to call him. So I got him in my back pocket every time. I'm like, dude, I need help. I'm being stressed. He's like, all right, slow down. And like, I'm just the type of learner that like, I got to have you there. You know what I mean? I got to have you
Yep.
like, you can tell me something over the phone and like, I'm kind of a bad listener too. So like, you can tell me something over the phone and it goes through one ear, go out the other. And sometimes I'm a little lost. So like, I'd rather have him there with me hands on, like showing me the steps and process and stuff like that. I've even had him like say like, hey, like he'll have to go back on a call like behind me because I'm like, I can't figure it out. You know, I'll be honest, like I can't figure it out. And like I'll tell him like, hey, like make a recording or do something like how you found it and stuff like that to help me learn and, you know, help progress my ability to run a service call. You know what I mean? And like that's why Instagram is just like social media is just like amazing because like so many guys that I follow, like they go on a service call all the time. Like their videos are mainly service calls. And so I'm like learning from that and like trying to take tips from that and just like trying to learn from them. And they're basically, they're my lead man.
Well, and it's, you know, every company's got to have that go-to service guide. I think
Yeah.
social media has given HVAC and the trades in general a completely different, you know, roadmap of how
Yeah.
to learn and develop your skills. And I think, in talking about, you know, needing something visual as opposed to learning, one of the new sponsors of the show, LiveSwitch, got the hat sitting over here. That could be something that, you know, I'll talk about it. There'll be a little segment that drops in the show later, but that's something I think could be really, really good for service teams and other things as they really realize what it is, because it's a means of one-on-one communication with video without having to have apps or anything like that. You can literally just send a link to each other, pop it up, open the video, and you can turn around and you can show him what you're looking at. You can circle what you're looking at. He can kind of point different things out. So there's ways to maybe help potentially visually aid guys as you're learning service or learning install and different things in the field. So the more I dig into this as I've gotten used to it, the more I'm starting to see different ways it could help, you know, guys in the field. I'll have to show you some more about it at some point, but it's a pretty
Oh, yeah,
slick little
sure.
tool. You know, how did you end up first getting introduced to the trades and kind of what made you pick HVAC?
Well, I mean, my very first job when I was about 15 years old, I was in a restaurant industry, and I worked for them for about 9 years till I was about 25. That's when 2020 hit and COVID, all that stuff hit. So like, you know, restaurants shut down, everything shut down pretty much. Besides, you know, some trades, you know what I mean? And when when my restaurant shut down, they did a little thing where like they had some people come in and do like, you know, to go and stuff like that. And I was just like, I'm gonna stay home, you know, I'll be lazy. You know what I mean? I took that route. And then when stuff started opening back up, that's when it like all the freaking mean people came out and like everybody was just pissed off. Not just everything. Everybody was just pissed off at everything. And I was just like, because I used to be like, you know, cool and, you know, calm when it comes to like dealing with angry customers. Like I could handle them.
Yep.
But like after COVID, I was just like, I'm not dealing with this anymore. And so like it clicked in my brain. I was like, I need to find a career. I need to get a trade or something. And so I asked around some of my buddies. One guy was an electrician for the union here, the local, I forgot what it was, what number it was, but I was like, hey, how do you like being an electrician? He's like, oh, I love it. He's like, man, you got to go through the apprenticeship and all that stuff. And then I started going to the union, heard mixed reviews, and I was just like, maybe not. And then one of my other buddies, he was in the HVAC and he had his own company. And I asked him, I was like, hey, are you taking on any new apprentices? Like I had no history, like no experience in construction, anything. Like I've picked up a hammer, you know, power drill for like my
I picked up
dad.
a hammer.
Yeah, I've helped out my dad with his car or something like that, but like never really like worked on stuff like that with my hands. I mean, so like I was just like, hey, like, are you guys hiring? Like, I definitely want to try out, you know, HVAC. He's like, not right now, because they mainly do like service and change outs, retros and stuff like that. Like they didn't do new construction. But then like my other buddy, he worked for a company that did new construction, and like they did a lot of things. And I was like, hey, like you guys hiring? He's like, yeah, come on, like put in your application. I put in my application, got hired on the spot. Like I basically told like had an interview with the boss, and he was like, you got any experience? I was like, no. He's like, you got any type of tools? I was like, I might have a drill, I might have a hammer. He's like, all right, you're hired. I was like, okay, like thanks, like cool. Like I was hyped, you know what I mean? Uh, and then what's funny is the very first day I show up. Well, let's backtrack because I asked my buddy, I was like, what kind of tools do I need? Like what do I need to get? And
Yeah.
he was basically telling me, he's like, you don't need anything off the get go. I was like, okay, all right. I show up the first day, walk in, boss looks at me, he's like, where's your tools? I was like, Tony said I didn't need any. Like,
Thanks, Tony.
But I mean, shout out to Tony because he got my foot in the door. You know what I mean? Sad story about him too. I mean, I don't know if I want to get into it yet. Maybe we can discuss it later on.
Yeah, we can put a pin in that. And we get a little bit deeper into your how you got into it.
He's the reason why I'm in HVAC, where I'm at now, and what I do. Like, so thanks to Tony. Thank you. But yeah, I just took the shot, took the gamble, and now here I am 5 years in, got my journeyman's after I think my third year. Cause like my second year, that's when you can get it. If you don't go to trade school, like you get 2 years of out in the field experience, you can take your journeyman's. I don't know if it's different in other states or not. I haven't done that research.
Yep, every state's different. So as you're talking about unions, you're talking about journeymen. So I was curious if, are a lot of your HVAC technicians, are you guys union or do you?
We're non-union.
Okay.
I'm not going union. I've earlier this year, so I've worked this is my third company I've worked for. The first company, Tony got me onto. Second company, after that first company hit the hay, another one of the master holders for that first company made his own company, and then we all moved over there, and then that one, kind of split, and then this year, or no, yeah, it was this year. It was this year up in February when they, hit the hay again. Tony again found this other company, and he was like, he didn't know if he wanted to pull the trigger or not. And I was just like, this company that we were working for at the time was just like going so down, like it was getting pretty bad. And I was like, I need to find something new. Unfortunately, I actually got fired from that company, and I hit up Tony. I was like, dude, like, give me the number of the guy that you're talking to for this new company. Gave me the number, talked to him. He's like, come in for an interview. And then I got that job. So I'm on my third company now, which hopefully I'm on my last. Third time's always a charm, you know what I mean? But
know that feeling.
I don't even know where I went for this. I just kind of went down a rabbit hole, like you said.
Well, I'd say that's what happens. That's why we got show notes. So here we'll pull it back in for a second. Which I know we hear the little man in the background. So now you've got a fiance, you've got a little guy, and I know firsthand what it's like. Trying to build a relationship. When I first got into distribution, when Chris and I were first engaged, like we were young, we were broke. I was trying to figure it out. I was working my ass off. I had side jobs too, trying to find a way to make things work. She was trying to find ways to make things work. So, how do you balance, the chaos of the installs, building your tool repertoire, because that's not cheap to buy your tools, and also on top of that, you've got stuff to do at home, and you got to have a way to have a little bit of downtime.
You got to have a balance, man. You definitely have to have a work-life balance. I mean, she brings that up to me all the time about, because like when I get home, sometimes like I'm still talking to builders, or I'll talk to some guys that I'm working with, and they're asking me questions, I'm asking him questions and stuff like that. Like it's definitely hard to build that work-life balance. But I mean, I'm still trying to figure it out. So I don't,
It
I
takes time, man. It takes
can't
time.
really tell you how to do it when I don't even know how to do it myself.
Yeah,
Especially like making content now. I mean, content wise, like when I'm around them, I try not to, deal with that or try to make videos or, I catch myself on social media sometimes and then I'll realize like, what am I doing? Like family time,
I,
like cut it
I
off. You
do
know
it
what I mean?
too. I do it
Yeah.
too. We'll sit down to have a drink or something before dinner, and here I am just
Yeah.
scrolling away. And she's like,
Throw
"What are you
it away.
doing?" I'm like, "Sorry,
Put it down. Put it
let me
down.
go. I need a lockbox to go lock it up, like we're at a comedy show or something." I'm like, here, my phone's ringing right now. It's 6 o'clock almost. It's just that's distribution life too, just like it is as a contractor. And my dad was a contractor, so I grew up with some of it too.
Yeah.
The apple doesn't fall too far, but well, and you talk about creating content. So I know you've really had kind of a quick rise on Instagram. Thank you,
Yeah,
primarily
surprisingly,
to,
dude. And
oh yeah,
surprisingly, like I was like, what the heck? Like I've
dude, you
actually
do good work. The bending and brazing skills. It's
I
just
appreciate it. I
bam.
mean, I scroll back on like what I first posted and like I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, that looks like garbage compared to what I do now. And I'm like, I don't even know how I got to this point. I mean, like it's like I said, like just watching other people that post, like, I mean, I'll tell you my three big favorites. I've been following Jeff Dim and Flintstone, and then HVAC Combat. I don't know their real names. I mean, Jeff, obviously. But I've been following Jeff and Flynn since literally when I first started HVAC, actually, because like when I first started HVAC, like then an HVAC started popping up on my feed. I'm like, what the heck? I didn't know it was popping like that. And like seeing Jeff, like with his just like installs and stuff, I was like, this is insane. I've never like, because I mean, I was like probably 3 months into it. I was like, I've never seen an install like a unit installed the way that he installs a unit. And like same thing with Flint, like they were always teaming and stuff
Yep.
like that. And I actually recently like scrolled through my messages with Jeff. And I remember I messaged like I cringed about it because I messaged him and I was like, hey, because I was like, hey, there's a page trying to be like you with your name and like posting your content. Like, is that you? And like I look back, I was like, why was I being such a fanboy back then?
Well, I mean, when I first started the show, some of those guys were starting to get really big. I know Jeff and Mike both came on the show really close to one another, and
Yeah.
I got to meet Mike and both of them in Atlanta and some of the other AHRs, and it's been really cool to get to meet those guys. But when I first saw that, I grew up in the field. I never saw an install like that. I mean, we did good, clean work, but I mean, I never would have thought to
They're
put a
on a different
diamond
level,
plate
man.
behind
Like
stuff. And
it's insane. Like the way that they imagine, it's so crazy, dude.
Tyler Dines does some crazy stuff with
Yeah.
hydraulics, man. He sent me some videos of some things he was working on, and I'm like, I never could have imagined like just work looking that cool, looking that clean. It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Um,
Yeah.
we could sit here and we could name people all night long that,
Yeah, dude.
that
It's
we
yeah.
get impressed by. And like I remember, I remember following HVAC reefer guy when we first started, and I remember trying to get him on the
I'm
show,
gonna have to
and he
look
was
him
like,
up now.
but like I remember trying to get him on the show, and I mean the show was we were nobody, and he was like, I'm not really doing podcasts right now. And then like 2 weeks later, he was on HVAC Uncensored with Gil, and I was like, I have not arrived yet. um, it's been really cool to see like so many people just grow and get to know each other. And I think I shied away from social media for the trades for the longest time because like if you got onto it, back in the day on Facebook, like dude, it was brutal. Like everybody just beat everybody up, and I was like, I get beat up enough, doing this job. I don't want to get on social media and it just be a negative fest all day
Oh
long.
yeah, dude. Facebook. Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started about Facebook. I was going through a period when I posted one of my videos. I mean, I always think about it. I did a heat pump backup fossil fuel furnace 2-stage, and it's when I posted, I was like, oh, this looks good. And then like when I posted and I saw this dude's comment, I mean, it's like 1,000 comments now, just all the same thing. Not enough return, all that stuff. I was like, oh my god! And then
Trolls came out from under the bridge.
people were just pop, 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 just throwing it at me. I'm like, oh my god! But then like I took that video as like a good learning experience. I mean, like I should have known myself not to pop around straight off a filter. I should have put a piece of ductwork and had like a squared around, or just even popped off the top with a round. Like it was definitely a good learning experience, and like that's what I look at social media, like posting my content on social media now, like looking at other people's content is like I learned from it. You know what I mean? Like I take it, learn from it, and just like do better on the next one. You know what I mean? Like what could I have done better the next time if I run into that situation again? You know what I mean? I try not to let those comments get to me. Like at first, like I was like, dang, do I want to make content anymore? Like I'm getting beat up right now. He's kind of tearing me down. I was like, you know what? Nah, just keep going. Keep going.
Sometimes people forget that they had humble beginnings too. They just didn't get chastised for it. And it's different when you're trying to learn and you're trying to grow and you throw it out there hoping, to learn from it, but sometimes it's just a little bit more it's a little bit more than you bargained for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you said you also do woodworking, which my dad does a lot of woodworking. So what kind of stuff do you do?
So I actually picked that up recently, during the middle of summer. Like, I don't know, I'll just go on a job site and there's just a bunch of wood that they're throwing away. So like majority, like I don't really do it much anymore. Cause I mean, I've piled up a lot of wood, so I don't need it anymore. But, like I needed a new gate for my back deck. So I built a new gate. Uh, our son freaking got into our, fireplace.
Oh, jeez.
And yeah, she called me one day. She's like, he's black. He's completely covered in black. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, he got into the fireplace. And she showed me a picture. I was like, oh my God. So I was like, I got to figure something out. I got to build something. So I built a nice fireplace cover. I've built, a shelf downstairs, like a little decorated shelf. And then I built a towel rack, like modernized towel rack. I found it off Instagram. Somebody made one. I was like, oh, this looks nice. I'm gonna build one myself. And then, speaking of shelves that you were saying for your, Legos, I actually, found an idea of the Death Star. So the destroyed Death Star. I'm gonna post it later, or I'll send it to you later. What it looks like, but it's just a shelf, just literally the Death Star just destroyed, and then it's got shelves on it, and I just got all my Legos on it in my game room downstairs and stuff like that. Besides that, I mean, I want to build a new mailbox because I saw this dude build a mailbox. Like just took out the metal pole that's rusted and stuff like that. Cause that's what I got right now. I got a metal rusted pole with a freaking box on top of it. I was like, I got to spice up my house a little bit. You know what I mean?
I don't know. We do too, thanks to all the dogs that make a pit
Probably do
stop
that
on
next
it.
year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of dog piss on it.
So let's dig a bit more into really how you got into HVAC. So you've been doing it like 5 years, and this is a loaded question. But what's one lesson that you really wish you could have learned in year one that took you a lot longer to realize or understand? Since 1961, JP Lamborn Company has been the name behind some of the best flexible duct products in the business. A third-generation family-owned company that built its legacy on integrity, innovation, service. That same spirit drives them today, with antimicrobial technology, top-tier materials, and a relentless focus on quality. When contractors need a product they can stand behind, JPL delivers. It's more than just flex duct, it's peace of mind. JPL, the name you know, the quality you trust, and the flex that delivers.
That's a tough question, man. It's one lesson. Dang. I mean, I don't know. Like what I try to tell you guys is like ask all the questions. ask all the questions that you can think of. Like, don't be afraid to ask. Like, always be willing to learn. Like, I'm still learning right now. Like, I I've been doing it for 5 years, and I learned something new every single day. And like
Yep.
somebody said something the other day. It was like, what's one thing, or like, when do you think that you'll ever achieve like the, like, I don't know, the status of knowing everything at HVAC? Like, everybody's like, I'm like doing this for 30 years. I still don't know everything. Like,
No,
there's
you
like,
can't.
HVAC is so complex. It's insane. So many things to learn about. And like with this new refrigerant changeover and stuff like that, there's so many more things to learn about that now. It's just like, it's never gonna just stay stagnant, dude. It's always gonna change. It's never gonna not surprise you. Like, you always got to be on your learning game, which I got to do better of. Like, I got to start doing more research of things and like stuff like that. But I mean, it is kind of hard. Like you said, like work life balance, like being at home, like it's kind of hard to get back into work mode and try to do research on some things. But yeah, dude, just keep asking questions. Don't be afraid to ask. Like, don't feel lesser of yourself to ask questions. You know what I mean? To learn more, to want to learn more. You know what I mean? Always be that guy, because I was actually that kid. I mean, I had no experience. You know what I mean? And this one guy that I worked with for a whole year, he's taught me everything I knew really about sheet metal and ductwork and stuff like that. His name's Rick Estes. Shout out to him. He actually just retired. Uh, he loved working with me because like every day I was asking a question. Every 30 minutes to an hour I was asking him a new question. And like he was always talking, he was always saying, nobody really lasts that long with me. He's like, because like they either don't want to work or they're sitting over there on their phone or doing this. He's like, I like working with you, and like don't tell anybody I said this, but like you're always asking questions, like you're always wanting to learn, like you really like you just really you show that you want to like take this career and run with it. You know what I mean? Like that's what I try to tell people. I was like, dude, this is an amazing career. Like, you're gonna have a job for the rest of your life. You won't have to do anything else. And like with this career, like there's so many things you can branch off to and do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like plumbing and refrigeration, like not just HVAC. Like there's so many like branches to this tree. And like, I mean, I'm still on one branch, but like there's other branches that I feel like I could venture off to. Sorry if you can hear him. It's about almost
No,
bedtime.
man. I'm surprised that my 3 pups aren't barking their heads off. That's usually their favorite thing to do in the background. Trust me, I know all about it. Um, well, and one of my next questions was about mentors and coworkers. And like you, one of my favorite places to learn when I was young was I loved the old sheet metal shop. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, my dad taught me so much.
Yeah.
Um, like, and I walk into guys' metal shops today, and I'm like, man, you guys have all this stuff to make stuff with. It's like
Yes.
I had a 4-foot break. That was it. Like, and I had to learn everything on that, from making your own Pittsburgh to making anything.
See, that's one thing I
Like,
have
dude,
not learned yet. Is all that stuff, like, because we get all stuff prefabbed and sent out to us, and if we need a special fitting made, like they get it made for us. But like mitering and like doing Pittsburghs and stuff like that, like I have not learned that yet. Surprisingly, like that's something like I see a lot of people do. Like there's one kid, his name's Josh. God, what's his name? But like he's in his like younger 20s and he's making Pittsburghs on the job and stuff like that. I'm like, this kid's showing out. Like I'm trying to be like him. Like I'll watch a couple of his videos trying to learn from him. And Jay. See, I don't know these guys like that. You know what I mean?
that's always the fun thing, is because it's like even when you go to trade shows and you meet them, like you call them their Instagram handle, like not even on purpose, because you're just like,
I would.
that's
I would
how
definitely
we
be
get
that
to
guy
know
calling
each other.
everybody. It's like calling them by their gamer tag and playing Xbox
Yep,
with
that's exactly what it is.
them.
So have you always, I know you talked about wanting to get into service, but have you always kind of gravitated to install, or did you kind of end up at install? Because that's where a lot of us start, and that's where you learn a lot of your basics and your fundamentals.
Yeah, so that's where I started. I mean, I had no experience, so like my boss was like, it's like we're just gonna put you on new construction. So I was like, I mean, that's fine with me. Like, I want to work with my hands. Like, I want to learn new things, and like, I feel like new construction. Everybody has a different opinion, but I feel like if you're gonna start an HVAC, like that should be probably like your first step is new construction. How to do
Yep.
duct work and put sheet metal together, like learning to set a unit and run off that, run your plenum and trunk lines and all your leads and like, and I feel like when I did that, like going into brand new houses being made and seeing like everything done before drywall and like before like a house is finished, like I learned a lot about just like how a house is built or like a building in general, like commercial stuff like that. I was just like, I don't know, I took that and just ran with it. And I was just really, sorry, I'm getting distracted.
You're fine. What is what does the install market really look like in Kentucky? Do you guys have any kind of weird codes for new construction that you guys deal with, or is there anything kind of quirky y'all have to do to make people happy?
Uh, Compared to a lot of other people, I feel like we're pretty lenient. I mean, in the city's more lenient than outside of it because our state inspectors, they're pretty strict on some things, and I've had to go back on a bunch of houses. Like this is like towards Georgetown and like past Lexington, stuff like that. Like they're really strict about everything. If like you have like a straight boot up in Addison, like you have to have that perfect curve. Like you can't be pinched at all. Like nothing can be pinched. Everything's got to be sealed. We got one builder that actually does blower tests on every single new construction house. Like, and their leak test is like, I forgot what it was, but it's like really small percentage of leak. And like, we've had to go back on houses and like, we're like, well, I don't even know what else to seal up. Like at this point,
Yeah.
like it's leaking from the unit. So like we actually had them come out and like we sealed up all the cracks like from the doors of the units and stuff like that.
You're
And even
mastic
like
taping the doors to seal
that's
them.
what I'm saying, man. I'm like, we're making this thing look so hideous just for you to pass this on a blower test. And yeah, I mean, inside, like the only thing that's really strict is just the blower test. I mean, they don't really. We can get away with like I've seen some people say like, oh, when you're using metal pipe, like it has to be metal strap. Like we use that nylon strap, that black nylon. So like it's give or take. I mean, but like state inspectors definitely they're strict, really strict about everything. Uh, a lot of guys that comment on my videos, they're like, "Why do you put the loop on that? Why don't you put it in a liquid tight?" And the only people that actually get us on that is state inspectors. They actually will fail us if we don't have it. Like even in it, like we put it in like a what do you call that freaking tubing? It's not even liquid tight. It's I don't know. It just looks like a wiring cover for like uh
Oh, just
outdoor
like the
lights, like
like the
on a
Romex connector
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
pretty much. And yeah, besides that, yeah, state inspectors are probably the only guys that really get honest about everything.
So besides your job that you got all the hate on Facebook for, what's one job that you, for better or worse, that you still think about that taught you a ton in the process?
Man, I don't know. That one's definitely there. That one's seeped in my mind because
That
like
was
I'll pull
burned
up,
into your memory.
dude. Every day it's a new comment, and I'm like, I don't even want to look at it, but I'll look at it. And it's the same comment, just copied and paste. I'm like, yeah, somebody's already said that, dude. Like, thanks, man. Oh, not enough return. Oh, thanks, man. I know.
I
That one
learned my
definitely
lesson.
eats in. Yeah, because that one, like, I'm pretty sure that one's the one that kind of took me off, and it's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I got popular all for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? But yeah, that one
Hey man,
definitely
all
is
press
it's
is
stuck
good
in my
press,
brain.
right?
Yeah, I've learned my lesson on that for sure.
So if you had to sum up the difference between a good installer and a great one, what would you say?
Uh, I mean, a good installer will get the job done. a great installer will get the job done as well, but make sure everything is perfect to the T. You know what I mean? I mean, I've seen some work uh, in past companies where like, yeah, they're in and they're out. Like, good job. Like, you did a good install, getting in, get it out, get the money. But like a great install would make sure that it's done correctly, according to the books, pressure tested, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Vacuum down, and just make sure that like you can tell somebody takes pride in their work and somebody that's just there to work to get a paycheck. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I guess that's between a good installer and a great installer. A good installer is there for a paycheck and gets the job done. A great installer takes pride in his work and makes sure that like they can look at that job in the next years to come and be like, just feel proud about it. You know what I mean?
It's the finite details,
Yes.
or people say the devil's in the detail. That's
Yeah.
how it works.
And that's what this my buddy Chris, when I first got hired onto this company, because when I first got hired here, I told my boss, I was like, I don't want to do roughs anymore. Like roughs, like I've been doing it for 4 years. Like I want to start doing finals and like dealing with actual the units, and like I know how to ride a bike, like, but I want to know how to take apart the bike and know how it
Mm-hmm.
works. You know what I mean? Like, uh, and
Take
I
the
rode with
training wheels
him.
off.
Yeah, like I rode with him for the first month, and like, I mean, he was telling me, he's like, it's all about aesthetics, man. Like, you can't just go in here and just pipe this in, just bend it with your hands and just slap it in, and like just do it like that. You got to have some type of like art to it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just like take pride in it. And I was like, yeah, like I've always thought about it like that, and like he definitely helped me out, like first with my bending and stuff like that. But then like I took that and went to social media, and like I said, like Jeff and HVAC Combat and Flynn, like their bending skills and stuff, like definitely progressed my knowledge, because I always went back to HVAC Combat's video of how to bend. Like I was like, I want to get this bent perfect, so I got to watch his video how he did it, and like he has a tutorial video like first on his page, and like I watched it probably 5 times on a job site before actually like doing it. And like when I started doing it the way that he did it, I was like, so this is how it's done. I was like, this is it. And yeah.
Well, and talking about that, I'm glad you went that way, because uh, everybody, we're gonna step into what we're gonna call the Hilmor Highlight, thanks to Diversitech, who have graciously become a new sponsor of the show. And our buddy Tyler here has made a name for himself with his Hilmor benders. So, talking copper, you've kind of answered, what really got you interested in the art of clean line sets. So we're going to give
Mhm.
HVAC Combat all the credit for that one. Um, but what made you end up choosing Hilmor to be like your main tool? Like, how did you end up deciding that was kind of what you liked the most? Because I know that's been really the primary thing I've watched you use in everything you do.
It's just how they feel when I use them. Like I've used a cheap knockoff brand. I don't even know if it had a name to it. Like those were my first benders, and like I just hated how they felt. Like you had to screw in the bender bar itself. You had to oil up the modules and the voting bar itself just to even have a crisp bend. And just like the release of it was ugly. It just didn't feel right. I've had I don't really want to say the name of the brands, but throw them under the bus. But I don't know. When I
Yeah.
picked up a Hilmor bender set for the first time and like used it, I was like, I need me a pair. And luckily, uh, we were on a multifamily home, and one of the builders there actually worked for my very first company. And he came up to us because we were doing the HVAC for the whole facility. And he was like, hey, I got a bunch of tools, HVAC tools that I'll bring in for you guys if you guys want to buy them. And I was like, what do you got? He's like, I got a set of benders, manifold gauges and like other stuff. And I was like, yeah, I definitely want to look at them. And he pulled it up. He had a Hilmor. And I was like, how much you want for that and the gauges? And he sold it to me for like 175. And I was like, yeah, I'll take those. I mean, you get a Hilmor bender set now, I think for like 175 for 200, something like that. So I was like, that's a steal. I mean, I got to oil them up still because he was like, they've been in his garage for the past 4 years. So they're a little rusty. I got to put some WD-40 on them every now and then, but I love them, dude. It's
Well,
definitely
and I
my
think I was
go-to.
gonna say, I think talking about tools require maintenance like everything else.
Yes.
That's what you make your livelihood with. You got to take care of your tools; they take care of
Yep.
you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel has really been the biggest difference? I guess post really learning how to lay out your tubing and understand how to do precision bending. Like how has it changed the way you approach your setup and how you run your line set and how you get prepped to do those things?
I mean, it really all depends. Like when I first show up to the job site, I take about 15-20 minutes like laying out what I'm dealing with. You know what I mean? I check the outside, look at the line set stubbed out. I check where the if I got to put it on a pad or if I got to put it on brackets. Uh, I just check where everything's at, make sure that I can set it accordingly to where it's not blocking the disconnect. Sometimes it is. Nothing I can really do about that. People always throw
Yeah.
shades like you're blocking the disconnect. I'm like, dude, I have to. I have nowhere else to go. And yeah, just like I'm just really painting a picture in my head, like where I'm setting this unit, where I'm going with my bins, uh, and I just go from there. And it really helps out when our rough in crew when they stub the line set in a good spot for me. Or sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I mean, sometimes I can, sometimes I can't.
Yep.
Uh, and I mean, I just take that and just roll with it. I mean, you just got to be an artist. You know what I mean? You got to know how to just paint a picture in your head and just do with what you got. I mean, nothing's ever going to be perfect. Nothing's ever going to go according to plan. You just gotta, make it look the best way you can with what you got.
Well,
And
and I think you've really developed kind of. I feel like you almost have a signature way that you bend stuff because if I'm scrolling through, like I can see something you've posted and I don't even have to know it's you. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Tyler because I can just see the way you set it
yeah,
up,
I guess
especially
I
like when
guess
you're
I
going
got a
into an
little
air handler or
signature.
coil.
I don't really look at it as a signature, but I guess yeah, my stuff. I mean, it's just aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like I try to make it all look the same. Like sometimes I get a little crazy, too crazy. I've looked back. I'm like, why did I bend it that crazy? Like I got like four bends on that. Like when I could have just done three or two. And I mean, yeah, it's just I try to keep it uniform and just try to keep the aesthetic going. Sometimes I've actually did a downflow air handler recently, and I've never done my copper like this. I'm probably gonna post it soon, but I looked at it, I was like, that's a little crazy for me. A lot of people aren't gonna like it, but whatever, I like it. So
I mean, sometimes you got to do something a little bit different to make it work right
yeah,
there.
yep,
Well, and I think too, you talk about maybe I've done one too many bends here, one too many bends there, but some of it's also about making it easy for the people that are coming back to work on it later. Sometimes you
yeah,
bend it a certain way so that you can actually position the unit to where it's
yep,
serviceable for the long run as well.
yep,
And
exactly.
sometimes people don't think about that when all they're focused on is new construction, just bang it in, bang it out. But someone's got to come back and work on that unit later at some
Exactly.
point.
Yep.
Unfortunately, they break, and they need to get
Oh
worked on. So I think when you take that into account, it also makes a difference in how you lay it out too. So one last thing, everyone's always got to do a crawl space confession in segment 3. So
yeah.
what's one other memory or mistake or moment that makes you either laugh, cringe, or just shake your head at that you've survived in this mess?
I was actually in a crawl space yesterday, dude. Wasn't as bad as the my crawl space confession, but like yesterday, I was literally like from belly to back, like I had probably had this much in between my back and the crawl space, and like I'm just scooting, just trying to get to where I needed to go. It was a clean crawl space. It was conditioned, so I can't really complain. But when I first started with this company, I think it was my first week. They sent me and Chris. Chris is the service guy that it's in my back pocket every time I need him, and he's the guy that taught me when I first got here. So I'm probably gonna say his name a lot. But we went to this crawl space, and it was so dirty, dude. I'm talking like when we got out of there, like I literally blew black like snot for I don't know how many days, probably 2 days. It was bad. But when we were down there, we saw probably like a shoe from like 1950. And then like right next to the shoe was just a jar. And we both looked at each other. It was like, is this a jar from holes? Like, should we open this up and like release the virus that has just been contained in here? Like, what should we do with this jar? Should we just leave it for the next tech and just set it on the unit? And yeah, it was bad, man. It was so bad. That unit, and like we tried like talking to that customer, like, hey, like we got to do a lot more extra stuff. They're like, we just need a new furnace. We need heat. Like, we don't want to do anything extra. We're like, all right, well, like your crawl space is flooding, and that's the reason why like the other unit went bad. And like, if we don't get this lifted up off the ground, like it's just going to go bad again in the next year. And they didn't want to do that. And it was just, when we tore out that old furnace, dude, like it was literally just deteriorating like while we were carrying it out. It was so bad. But yeah, that jar, I always bring up that jar with them. Like, dude, like we should have probably took that jar and just kept it or something.
I think the coolest thing, I know that's kind of one of the weirdest things you find. One of the coolest things I ever found doing an install was actually in an attic. But it was, I don't even know how they got this in there. There was like a pallet sitting up in the attic, but it was like loaded with all these old like newspapers from World War II.
Really?
And I was like, how did they survive up here for like 60 years? You know,
crazy.
A mouse didn't eat them or anything like that. And like a bunch of them, it had all these old like World War II caricatures of the different stuff that was going on. It was like the coolest thing ever. And like I ended up being a history major in college. So like that was, of course, that's one of my coolest finds ever.
Yeah.
But I just remember that. And I was like, there's always something random you find in somebody's attic, especially in a retrofit application.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you don't ever mean to find it either. It's like, I had to move this. Oh, okay. That's there, Stuff like that.
I've been on a few retros where we opened the wrong door and we're like, oh, let's not bring that up.
That's right.
But
so
that is awesome. That's pretty cool. I mean, World War, that era was. Are you talking about like the propaganda, like characters?
And
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I bet that was.
I remember. I was like, man, it's like, does this guy even know this is up here? Because like he had bought the house, so like it came with the house, but like no one knew it was there. And I was like, I wanted to be like, okay. Can I sneak one of these out just for like history's sake? And like Dad's like, no. I'm like, okay, sorry, Cajun Joe, I shouldn't have asked. but still, like one of the coolest finds.
Come on, Dad, please.
Right.
So you did HVAC with your dad?
Oh yeah. So my dad was a contractor. So I literally grew up in a work truck from 5 until college.
That's how that sounds good.
Like I paid for school working 3 days a week because that was just what you do. Like when I was a kid, he's like, I was like, Dad, can I have an allowance? He's like, nope, you go to work. I guess I'm going to work.
It's like, you're my new helper, son.
I mean, that's exactly right. But the cool thing was growing up, going on service calls and stuff with him, like my summers, even little, one, he would use me to like entertain a customer so he could actually work. That was one of the things he would pawn me off here and there, besides the fact that I was a gopher, and that's like it's like that meme that says no one can hurt my feelings. I brought my dad the wrong tool more than once. Um, you know, but
Yeah.
like it taught me so much about people, and like we would go on a service call, and I would listen to him talk to a customer, and then we'd get in a truck, and he'd like, well, what did you think about that person? He's like, what did you notice? He's like, what are things you noticed in the house, like this and this, and like that stuff is translated like my entire life. And especially now, like being in sales and distribution,
Right.
when I go in to meet a customer, it's like I meet the customer, but like the whole time you're reading the room. It's
Right.
like, oh, he's got an award from this distributor over there. Okay, it's like he's got this on the wall, or he's got the fish on the wall, or he's got the deer on the wall. So you start figuring out the hobbies and
Right. Try to
understanding
get to
like
know
who they
them,
are as a
try to
person.
pick at them, try to get get on their comfort
Exactly,
side. Yeah.
exactly. So
That's why I picked out your Legos back there. I can relate with
right,
that. So.
right, man. Like the problem is
Like we're
like
buddies already, dude.
we're buddies already, dude. You want to talk Legos? Talk to HVAC Strong too.
Dude,
He's just as bad as
I
we
would love
are.
to show you all my Legos I got downstairs.
God. See, all of ours are half packed. You don't want to know how many are in the closet right here behind me that haven't been
Dude,
built
keep
yet.
them back there, dude. I'm trying not to get jealous.
So much, so much. So we'll kind of get in the last part, and there's always I really like to talk about community collaboration. Building for the future. One of the biggest things that I try to push on this show is talking about us being better at collaborating as opposed to being competitors, because we can all learn a whole lot from each other. There's enough work out there for all of us.
Yeah.
Period.
Oh yeah.
And the more we build each other up, the harder it is for everybody else to tear us down.
Right.
So, as you continue to grow your platform, how do you think techs like yourself can positively influence the next generation of the trade? What's up, trade crew? You've heard the buzz, you've seen the press gang at every single AHR. Contractors across the country are ditching their torches for RLS press fittings, and they're not looking back. Why? Because RLS lets you finish faster, safer, and cleaner. From rooftops to mechanical rooms, crawl spaces, and attics, it's a press and go solution that's leak tested, UL recognized, and proudly made in America. Make the switch to RLS and take the heat out of your installs, literally. RLS, rapid locking system, press forward and press on.
I mean, just always give out tips, you know what I mean? Like just any way you can. Like I've actually had a few guys like slide my DMs that are pretty good, well known, and like just giving me tips. Like HVAC Strong, like he slid in mine and messaged me about that heat pump fossil fuel backup, and like he gave me a lot of good pointers about that. And HVAC Slim, I did like a 4-piece back, probably my first 4-piece that I posted. I mean, I've done 4-pieces, like a lot of them. That was probably my first one I ever recorded. Like I actually didn't start recording a bunch of stuff till recently, and like just like always giving me tips. Like that's why I do it. Like I want to learn, and so like if you can give me tips, like I will take every criticism that you can and like learn from that, and like just be positive. You know what I mean? Like I know a lot of people like jealousy is definitely a virtue. Like you can definitely like feel jealous of how somebody else is blowing up, their content's blowing up, but like look at what they're doing and like learn from that. You know what I mean? Like see how they're making their content, or like projecting themselves, and like how they edit their videos, or like not only that, like just take what they do. Like if they're like doing a service call, like see what they're doing. If they slip up on someone, or they like make a mistake and just like jump from like one step and just went to another and just missed that other step, like just message them. You know what I mean? Like see like how did you jump from that step to the next step? And I've seen a lot of guys like just, I mean, it's just always those Facebook people, man. They just get under the comments and they just think they know it all. And I'm just like, I try not to look at the negativity, and like that's one thing that you gotta like. If you're gonna make content, like don't take the negative comments personal. Like just don't even worry about them. Like unless they got something to show, like unless they got content of their own or like work of their own that they're posting, don't listen to them because anybody on Facebook is going to claim they've been doing it for 10, 20 years, but really they don't know anything and they just probably learned one time about something and just ran with it. It was like, oh, but I got taught this way, you know? Like, no, dude, like whatever. You got taught one way, I got taught the other. And I'm just going to take what I learned and do with it, and you can do it your way. You know what I mean? Both of us can be right, but we both do it different.
Well, and I think it's that, don't get bitter, get better.
Right.
And sometimes that's tough. Like, I mean, I look at it and I look at other podcasts that blow up and I'm like, damn it. But at the same time, I'm like, the guys that do it, like, I love them. Like, they're some of the most genuine people I've ever met. Yeah. Like, talk about, if you look in the DMs of my phone, like, Strong, Slim, Doc, HVAC God, Foodie, HVAC J, like, those guys, like, I talk to them more than I talk to, like, my family. Like, they're literally my social family, but, like, those guys have been, like, some of the most genuine people I've met. And if it weren't for what we do in this crazy community we're all part of, like, I'd never know them.
See, and it's crazy too, because like when I first started posting content, like I was tagging these guys, and like I was thinking in my head, I was like, I hope they don't get annoyed that I'm tagging them. Like, I hope they don't think that I'm doing a horrible job. But really, like they've messaged me and they're like, dude, you do good work. Like, here's what you could do better. And I was like, these guys are actually pretty nice. Like, I'm actually
like,
surprised.
They're good dudes, man. They're such good dudes.
It's so insane. And like, I mean, that's just how, like, it's like you said, like stick together, like blow each other up and try not to tear anybody down. Like, I try to do that. Like, I'll see somebody, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'll see somebody obviously like make a bend and it just looks wonky. I'm like, dude, good job. And then I'll message them like, hey, you could have, done that a little bit better this way. Like, if you just like, I definitely don't want to tear anybody down. Like, I don't see any point of being negative towards anybody. Just rather be positive and just let that flower blossom just spread to other people. Because I mean, like, positivity just grows and just spreads. You know what I mean? The more positive you can be, the better it is for everybody else. And people look at that and they love it. And I mean, that's how some content creators are. Like there's just one kid, HVAC Disciple. Like, that kid is just like, his energy is insane. And I remember when I first followed him, I was like, I'll be honest, I was kind of sick of him. I was like, dude, like, he keeps posting these videos of him waking up and he's putting on this camera. I'm going to unfollow him. And I mean, but like, he does good work. Like, he does good service work. I'm like, I mean, some people have their type of content that they post, and like, you can't, like, I mean, I got to respect his grind. Like, if he does it the way he does and he's growing the way he is and he's blowing up, like, he's shooting up. Like, I remember when I first started, I mean, I only had 600. That was like when I didn't post anything. Like, I was just like people I knew. And then like I got to about 1,000 and like I checked him out. He was at like 7,000. I was like, what am I doing wrong?
And
like,
see, I've never even heard of him.
I was like, do I need to like, what am I doing wrong? And I was just like, I'm just going to be me. Like, I'm not going to try to be somebody that I'm not. And
nope.
One guy, Blue Collar, what's his name? Blue Collar Code, I think. He messaged me. He's like, have you ever thought of like having a personality and stuff like that? I was like, yeah, like I've made a few funny videos and stuff like that, but like, I'm just, I don't know. I don't think I can make like content like that and not like be somebody that I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I can't look at those and just not cringe, be like, yeah, I can't be that guy.
Well, and like sometimes it's hard to like create something that isn't organically what comes when you're doing something. Because like you can tell when stuff is staged at times, and you don't want to do that, because then you lose like that genuine personality of who you are and what you do.
Right. And I try, I definitely, you have to mix it up, when you're a content creator. Like you can't just stay stagnant with your work. And I've realized that like, yeah, all I do is post installs. Like I definitely want to like, I don't know, venture off. That's why I'm trying to learn service. You know what I mean? Like a lot of guys post their service work and like see a bunch of crazy stuff and it's good content and like just like it's definitely like a learning experience for like these younger guys or like people that are new to the trade. They can take your videos and run with it like and learn on their own with it and like that's what I want to do. Like that's my goal for the next year and so forth. I mean, I still want to do installs. Like I love just bending copper. Like I love installing unit, just like leaving it for a customer, a homeowner walk in, like this is a nice HVAC system. Like I love like hearing that and just hearing the feedback. But like I definitely want to like be on that other side where like I'm going in after and helping a family that's stuck with no heat in the middle of winter or go to somebody that's, uh, heating up in the middle of summer. You know what I mean? Like they got no air in the summer. Like I want to be, that I don't know superhero. Like that's why I call them super techs. Like they're superheroes. Like a lot of those guys uh, don't get the recognition that they deserve. You know what I mean? Like those guys, we're the reason why like people are comfortable in their house. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
and I want to be behind that as well. Like I want to add that to my book, I guess you would say.
So final one for the show. If and you've already said make sure you always ask questions, but if you could send one message to every apprentice that's getting into HVAC, I would say in 2025, but we're almost 2026. So someone that's going into the trade right now, what piece of advice would you give them?
Uh, don't give up. Don't like. I mean, that's just for anybody. Just don't give up. Like, if you don't know something right off the get go, like it's like I said, ask questions. You know what I mean? Like, don't feel down on yourself. Like, don't feel like you're behind. No matter what age you start. Like, I started when I was 25. Like, I thought I was so behind, and like now I'm 30 years old, and like I see all these younger kids, younger techs with their knowledge, and I'm like, I'm still behind. And like I gotta keep reminding myself like don't think that way. Like don't feel like you're behind in life, don't feel like you're behind in the trade. Like there's so much room to grow and learn at your own pace. And just like there's just no giving up. Like don't give up. That's it, don't give up, keep going.
So trade crew, don't give up. So Tyler, thank you so much for taking some time with me, the trade crew. Where can everybody find you on social media? So throw out the social handles, the tags, tell them to come and find you.
So I mean, obviously, my Instagram handle is TDHVAC. I just started up a YouTube page recently. I think it's not the same. It's the same TDHVAC, but I think there's an underscore. I just got it going. Uh, it's TD underscore HVAC. So there's that. Facebook is my actual name, Tyler Dreisbach. Dre is back is how I try to tell people how to spell it.
Dre is bad.
with
I
the
like it.
H with the H at the end. But yeah, right now I only got three handles. I might get a TikTok here soon. I don't know if I've decided to venture off in that world again. I used to have a TikTok, but then I deleted it just because it's just at one point in my life. So I don't know if I want to get back into that or not.
Well, what's funny is you say TikTok. Like we're talking about videos and different things you created. I was
You
looking
can get
back the other
lost in
day,
that, dude.
like TikTok showed up in the middle of COVID, and where I was working, like as a sales guy, like I was stuck in a warehouse. So it's
Mhm.
like I looked at a video yesterday, and I'm like driving up to the warehouse. It's like, oh, looks like a pretty busy day. Maybe I'll make some sales. And then like the next scene is like, or I'll just whip around on the forklift, and like it's me driving the forklift, like tearing up the warehouse in the forklift. I'm like, and I used to make stupid stuff like that, throw it on TikTok.
That's funny.
like I think the first TikTok I had like semi went viral was like I'd set up like a bunch of boxes of Flex in the warehouse, and I was like doing like a Flex slalom on a pallet jack, like flying through the warehouse. But then
That's
like
funny.
but then I got away from TikTok because they kept always saying it was going to go away. So it's like I don't want to spend all this time trying to
I
develop
remember
that
that
channel,
where, yeah,
and
they
it's
were
going to
trying to.
disappear. So it's like I kind of just faded away from it. I guess now I can go back to it at some
It's
point
not gonna
maybe,
go away,
but
dude. It's
God,
just,
there's like what they banned it for what like 72
it,
hours, and then it was back.
yeah, I
The
remember that. People
backlash.
going crazy. People were getting so freaking bent out of shape, and that was the time where like I didn't have it, and like yeah, I was just like, I don't care anymore. And then they brought it back. I was like, all right, whatever. Yeah, you can get lost on TikTok. I mean, it's like back in the day on YouTube. You can go through a YouTube, what do they call it, wormhole or
The rabbit
I
hole,
don't
baby.
know.
Just
It's worse. It's
there you
worse than
went.
that, dude. Like you can just scroll for hours, and yeah, I used to be bad on that, and realized that my screen time on TikTok was insanely unhealthy, so I deleted it. And yeah, I
The
don't know,
doom
man.
scroll. That's what
Maybe
they call it.
soon.
Doom scrolling. That's it.
Yeah, maybe I'll make one here soon. I got to save up some of my content because I've realized that like when I post on Instagram, I can't save those videos, and like I've like ran out of space on my phone. It's like, oh, I got to delete some old videos I
Yep.
made. And now I got iCloud space. So like anytime I make a video, I'll save it, throw it in that folder and save it for if I got to post it somewhere else. But YouTube's definitely different because the shorts, like I've posted 2 videos that were okay. But then like if you post more than a minute long video, if you have a song over it, like it gets copyrighted, and like I have not figured out that yet. I got one video that's blocked, and like I haven't posted ever since that because I was like I haven't figured it out. Never took
YouTube's a
the time to
different
figure it
beast.
out. Yeah,
Yeah, YouTube's a different beast. So,
yeah.
well, buddy, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for
Thank you, man.
watching.
I appreciate
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And you know what? Everybody, go out, have a good week, have a good weekend. Appreciate your trade crew. Peace.